years of age. We're here with Scott Westfall, who is the coach of the 7th grade Boltz Phoenix football team. How you doing, Scott?
Doing wonderful. Thanks again for having us, Vincent.
You're welcome. You brought some great kids in here. We've got Luke Gilliland, Grant Newsom, Ben Freeman, Robert DeQuazy, Scott Westfall, of course, John Rittner, and Jack Walby. And before we had that wonderful song by Sarah, we were talking about your different positions that you gentlemen are playing on the team. And actually, I'm going to not bypass Scott on this question. You've played football.
I have, yes.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
First of all, it was a long time ago. But I played in middle school and then in high school. And then when I got to college, I actually traded in the pads and took up rugby at CSU.
Oh, what a great sport.
Yeah, it was a really good time in my life.
Now, you are also the wrestling coach.
I am,
You
yes.
have a bit of experience at wrestling as well.
Yeah. Once again, a long time ago, I wrestled in. I began wrestling in middle school. Had a very influential coach at Springbrook Middle School, where I grew up in Adrian, Michigan. Coach Jim Waters. I always like to reference him as one of the biggest influences in my life, but really taught me how to work hard. And in addition, the sport of wrestling really backs that up, because it is a sport where if you are willing to put in the time and the effort, you'll usually get some pretty returns from it.
Between football and wrestling, I just think they're two of the greatest sports. And, I mean, somebody that hadn't met you before, Scott, could, like, walk by you on the street and just think, he would easily take me down to the ground if he chose to. 99.99% of the guys out there is like, yep.
I don't know about all that, but thanks, though.
Hey, we wanted to talk to, I think, Robert DeQuazy. Were you the next individual? We're going to talk to you about your football. Yes, sir.
I play defensive nose guard and strong side offensive tackle and punt return.
You return punts?
No, sir.
Oh, you play on the team of punt returning.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, a couple of those. What was the first position that you said?
Defensive nose guard.
Now, what is a nose guard? How do you define it? I'm not familiar with. What
They're
does it?
just on the front line.
Oh, they're on the front line.
They're lined up in front of the center usually.
Good. And you guys have quite the playbook, I would imagine. There's a playbook.
Rather than actually give them a piece of paper or a playbook, we have done that in the past, but we really try to teach it to them rather than...
Experiential.
Yeah, exactly. So
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, that's where it comes into play. You can't say, oh, wait, hold on, guys. Okay, they're doing this. Let me grab my book, and it's on page 62, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and to their credit, there are many plays and many scenarios that we've actually changed up this year, whether it's, in fact, just on Friday, we changed where the fullback and tailback line up as far as their distance from the line of scrimmage. And a kid like Jack, who you're going to hear from in a minute here, he's had to kind of put up with a lot of tweaking from myself and the other coaches and kind of roll with it as we've experimented with different blocking schemes and, again, just different ways to run the plays, how we see them working the best.
Yeah, and you have to be really spontaneous as a team, too, because when the offense, you're trying to trick just like you guys try to do. You don't want them to necessarily know what is happening, but you have to kind of respond to that in a very fast manner. How about you, Jack?
I play a wide receiver and kickoff return and kickoff.
And what would you say with those three positions? What is the most adrenaline-filled one for you?
Probably wide receiver, sir.
Wide receiver, yeah. And do you have certain plays that are your favorite? Would it be like do you still call it the bomb? Or there are different versions of what that means, I guess.
Hail Mary, sir.
Hail Mary. I saw a Hail Mary in a college football game yesterday that was very exciting.
Which team was that?
Gosh, was it No, it wasn't I think it was a team that was playing Arkansas, maybe.
Okay.
And it wasn't caught, but it was just this split second where time just seemed to slow down. That was
yeah,
almost like a Doug Flutie. You and I would remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. How about you, John?
My favorite would probably be just the slant, because it's a quick and easy route, and if they're playing deep, then you can get a lot of yardage on it.
Okay, nice. And Jack, we haven't spoken with you yet.
I play tailback, left corner, and I play on kickoff, punt, and punt return.
Nice. Do any of you guys return actual punts?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you do? Yeah, that was Jack, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Is that major adrenaline rush or what?
Sometimes, sir.
Sometimes. Well, this is Vincent. We're having a great time talking to these guys, and we're also talking with. So thank you for sharing that. I learned a little bit about the different positions and what all is involved. And it's interesting, Scott, because you talk about these guys being great students. You really have to be a student of football. It's not just all speed or all, bulk and so forth. There's a lot of thought that goes into football.
Definitely. We like to tell the guys that it is 90% mental and 10% physical, whether it's just knowing which snap count you're supposed to go on or where you're supposed to go on a block or run, a tackle. There's just a lot of it's almost like homework that goes into it. And every week we do sit the kids down and we call it a chalk talk, and we draw things up on the board and try to teach them where they'll be most successful as far as trying to stop the opponents or where we want to put the ball that week.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Well, we're going to continue this talk. We have about 25 minutes left. And I think from Sarah, we have a couple more songs from you today. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. How do you feel about cranking out another song for us? You want to do that?
Sure.
And what number on the CD would that be?
Let's do number 12.
Number 12? Okay. Got 12 lined up. And we'll be back in just a moment talking to these great student athletes as well as Coach Scott Westfall.